From a secret underground bunker somewhere in the Arizona desert, 40 feet below the Earth's surface, two men, aided by their robotic artificial intelligence, Jennifer,
At your service.
hide from their wives and kids to discuss man stuff with interesting and unusual people. These men are the Bunker Boys. These men sound unemployed, but they're not.
But we're not.
People actually hired us to do things.
Yeah, like what?
Like we paint and stuff, and you cook. You can make ribs.
I can make some dang good ribs.
Do you make julienne fries like they do on TV?
Well, I make all kinds of fries.
I believe that. I believe that very much.
They used to call me
Fry Boy.
Chef Boyardee.
That's true. Chef Boyardee. They call me Chef Boy Oh Boy. Oh, there you go.
Chef, oh boy.
Jenny,
Yes.
thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Garth.
No, thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, boys.
Oh, she's so nice.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Well, there you go. Jen, it is warm in here. Could you please turn on the air conditioning?
Yes.
Thank you. Man, it's that season, isn't it? It's just warming up. It was 90 degrees, 91 in town.
That's the time of the season.
Is that a zombie song?
Yep.
Yeah, so you give two old guys music cues and we know what to do with them.
Exactly.
But we're not that old.
91 in Phoenix, huh?
Yeah. Why are you... I have to describe this to you. He has got Kleenex stuffed in left nostril, then the same Kleenex over in his right nostril, and he looks like a walrus, like it's a mustache.
Well, my nose is running because the wind's blowing out there, and
your allergies are
an
kicking
allergy, yeah. So I have to keep it.
Man, I'm going to take a picture of this. Yeah. I'm going to post this on the... I could put this on our webpage. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? All right, where's my camera? It's never where you want it to be.
Is my part straight?
Your part? At least you have one.
Oh, dear.
Okay, here we go. Live on the show, taking a picture, and Captain Walrus. There we go. I got it. That is utterly
Let me
ridiculous.
see. Would it look stupid?
Well,
Oh, of course.
you be the judge.
Yeah, you be.
I got to see if I can actually look at it in my gallery here. But yeah.
Oh, never mind. Don't look.
There it is. I found it.
That was quick.
Yeah. Well, it's not very big, though. What's the deal? Oh, there it is. You look like Stanley Walrus.
Boy, that's a good picture. Well, I mean, that phone takes good pictures.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Not too bad. That'll be in the show notes for anyone that wants to see Garth in his white mustache made out of Kleenex. You know, we could auction that off for money.
Oh, I have my have glasses on too.
And your DNA is all over your nasty DNA is all over that Kleenex. I'm just saying.
Did you know adult fireflies don't eat?
They don't eat?
They don't eat.
Why?
It doesn't say.
Do they die real quickly?
Probably.
Yeah, I can imagine the life of a firefly can't be too terribly exciting, except at night.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
then
when
they
it
get
lights
to,
up. Yeah.
They get to burn their little wicks a couple of bright nights, and that's it, probably. All right, so let's talk about old TV shows and old songs that we remember. Remember that controversy with Don Felder and Glenn Frey and guys
Don
talking
Henley.
Yeah, Don Henley. Henley, Felder, and Frey. And they together wrote Hotel California. And then I guess they had some
Are
sort
you
of...
sure?
I think so.
No, I think Don Felder wrote Hotel California.
Felder wrote the music, but the lyrics, I think, were written by one of the other guys.
Oh.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he wrote the whole thing. I thought that was kind of rough when those guys did kind of cut him out of their showbiz career. They didn't invite him to tour with them for a long time.
Well, there was a big feud.
Yeah.
It was after, it was in Long Beach, California, I believe.
Is that right?
In the 80s, I believe it was.
Could be.
They were playing they were playing a concert in Long Beach Arena or some stuff. And Glenn Frey said Don Felder was disrespecting the man and wife. It was for election. Okay. So they
were playing for like a committee or something?
Right, you know. Oh. And Glenn Frey and Don Felder got into a spat. They wanted to beat each other out. I think they did get in a fight, if I remember correctly.
Huh.
And that's when they booted him out of the band, or he left, or they booted him, 1 of 3.
I never heard that story. I know that there was something to do with some feud, and it had to be that. And then there were some royalty things where...
Well, probably that also.
Felder said that, you guys have incorporated, you and Henley and Frey had gotten together and they were putting all their names on the writing credits of all the songs when they all contributed.
Right.
And he felt that was wrong. And he said, look, that's not right. You guys aren't the only people in the group here.
Well, they're the ones who founded the group.
Right. They did.
Those two.
And the ones they wrote, they should have their names on.
Right.
But
I agree.
anyone that contributed should have their name on it, too. That's my opinion.
You would think so, yeah.
I mean, to be fair. And musically, they all offered things that the others didn't offer. But they're all talented guys.
Very.
Yeah, the Eagles. I love the Eagles.
So
love
do
their
I.
music. They were the backup band for
Linda Ronstadt.
I mean, they were called the Stone Ponies.
Well, then Linda Ronstadt hired Don Henley and Glenn Frey for her band.
Oh, is that right?
They played with her for, I don't know how long, but then Glenn Frey says, I want to go out and make my own band. So he asked Don Henley, he goes, yeah, let's do that. So they told Linda Ronstadt, and Linda Ronstadt and her...
Music director or
right,
something?
Whatever. They said, well, go ahead. That's what you want to do. It's okay. We'll find other people to play for us,
Yeah, it's not like they can't learn the songs.
Right.
I always thought that was impossible when I was a kid. I'd listen to all these guitar licks these guys were doing, and I go, I can't do that. And I learned to play when I was 10. What age did you start?
Oh, Criminy, probably 12, maybe.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How did you get your first guitar?
My mom bought it for me. It was a Yamaha 360, I believe it was.
It was a circle?
I guess you could say that.
360 degree?
No, I forgot. The make of the guitar was a Yamaha, but it was a 300 or 360 or so, acoustic.
And did anybody teach you? Or did
No,
you?
I taught myself.
And you just got books on it or something?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Taught myself.
My father went to a night course at a local college, and he always wanted to learn to play guitar. So he got this little cheap airline guitar from Montgomery Ward. Yeah, well, that's where it originally was made. I guess they used to sell them in the catalog. But he bought it used off of somebody. And they were well made for what they were. They weren't expensive guitars. But it lasted.
Everything was well made back then.
Well, that's true. Even the cheapies, it wasn't the greatest wood quality, but it still was well made, and it sounded pretty good for what it was, which was a small little parlor guitar. And I would play that thing. He would teach me. He'd go to the night school course and learn a few chords and come home with some sheet music that somebody had penciled down and then mimeographed. Remember those things? Mimeograph machines?
Mimeograph?
Yeah, that blue ink on all your pages. And he brought that home, and he'd all these old country songs that he was learning. And he liked country, so that was good. The guy that was teaching it was teaching country. And he'd teach me then. He'd say, oh, this is a G, this is a C, this is a D. And from that, I learned a lot.
G, C, D?
Yeah. C, D, G, D, D, C, G.
B minor?
Root third fifth.
An F major?
Flat seventh.
I'll give you an F major.
No, you won't. I don't care what you say. We ain't that close. I mean, we're good friends, but we're... Yeah, enough of that.
We're not close enough for an F major, right?
And that's correct. Not even an F flat major. So I learned a few chords, and then from there, I started learning other chords, and I was starting to teach my dad things then.
Uh-huh.
And he goes, hey, how did you learn that? And I go, well, I got a book. Or
Practice, Dad,
I
practice.
found this, and I looked at the book that you brought home, and I learned from it. So I would just start forming chord shapes and figuring them out and know what their names were.
Yep, exactly.
And then as I got older, I went, oh my gosh, there's some more complicated stuff than this. There's sharps and flats and major sevenths and flat fifths.
That's when you get into the hard stuff.
Augmented thirds.
Augmented thirds that wipe out the forest.
Well, they could. So there's more to it than just chords. However, you can go quite a ways with just chords.
Yes, you can.
And that's good, because that's how most people write.
Yeah, I remember I used to sit in my room, my bedroom, and practice, and my bedroom was next to the living room. So my dad would be sitting in his chair watching TV and
Hear you practice.
And listen to me. Knock that crap off. He'd say different words than that.
Of course.
Knock that crap off. So I'd go outside. I'd just walk up and down the block.
Playing your guitar.
Playing my guitar.
Here comes that kid again with that annoying guitar.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
Did that. I was in quite a few bands, actually.
Yeah, that's nice. I was in a few stage bands back in high school, and I played guitar in 2 of them and trumpet in the others. I played for Kent State's Jazz Ensemble when I was a junior.
Wow.
And that was fun. And it was a good little band.
Sounded like you'd been blast.
Yeah, it was. We played a lot of volunteer things. We'd go to like retirement homes and play for them, and I think that's a nice thing to do. If you have a talent like that you can share with those folks, it's nice to go in and play for them once in a while. My sister does that. She uses that as her ministry. She goes to a lot of different retirement homes and plays music.
Oh, that's cool.
And she'll take my dad with her, and they'll play together. And she'll sing and play.
What does she play?
Guitar.
Yeah.
Dad taught her just like she...
Michael rowed the boat ashore.
Because the motor's broke.
Hallelujah.
Yep, that's what you start playing, those simple things,
right.
And those folk songs, and Bear Went Over the Mountain, and let's see, Smokey the Bear, and there's a lot of bear songs.
One of the first songs I learned was Let It Be by the Eagles, or by the Beatles.
The other Eagles.
The other Eagles. By the Beatles. And then one by, what the heck is his name? Neil Young.
Oh.
Searching for a Pot of Gold.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
What
I can't
the
think of
hell?
the name.
Jeez, we're getting old.
I know, it's horrible. What makes it worse is I was a disc jockey for years.
Yeah.
For 25 years, and I still can't remember.
You were
the
a
song.
disc jockey and a dat jockey, and you still can't remember.
That's right. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. But, oh, yeah.
Heart of Gold.
Heart of Gold.
Not Pot of Gold.
Yeah, Heart of Gold.
People are probably listening going,
You
you're an
dummy.
idiot.
No wonder you live out in the country where no one is. You and the cows.
But those are some of the first songs. And then also when we used to go on vacation.
We did?
We did.
I must have been drunk.
We'd go to Utah, not you. We'd go to Utah and stuff, and we had a truck and camper, a big camper and everything. Utah, yeah.
Okay.
So I'd be in the camper playing, jamming, learning new songs and everything. And then I'd play while we were there for my mom and dad, and sitting around the campfire, my sister.
Sitting around your sister?
Sitting around my sister and threw her in the campfire one night.
How is Beulah?
Beulah's pretty big by now. She's getting bigger every day I see her.
Yeah, we always liked to play around the campfire. That was fun. My dad always, of course, wanted to play country, and he goes, "You just want to play rock and roll all the time. They'll let rock stuff. I don't know all that fancy stuff." I said, "Well, it's not that fancy, Dad. It's just a little bit different."
It's not fancy, Dad.
It's not.
It's a fancy dance.
Did you ever meet any singers other than the Hoochie Coochie Girl?
No, I haven't.
How about concerts? What have you been to?
Not a whole lot. I don't like a whole lot of people.
Crowds don't thrill me.
I've seen Foghat, the Eagles.
Slow Ride.
Right, Slow Ride.
Yeah.
Foghat. And the Eagles, well, see, now you put me on the spot here.
Okay. Well, we'll talk and you'll come back.
It'll take time to think about all this.
Okay.
And
I saw, being a disc jockey and having to host events, I got to...
Oh, Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce, okay, yeah.
And the other guy, see, I can't think of...
that's all right. It'll come to you. Jackson Browne.
Never seen him.
Yeah, I like his music, though.
So do I.
I like it a lot.
He wrote Take It Easy with...
That's right.
With Glenn Frey.
That's right,
well, actually, Glenn Frey really didn't put a lot of input on that song, I guess. But
Yeah, he had written that song a long time before, and he could never finish it. And Glenn kept bugging him and saying, "You got to write that song. That's such a great tune. You got to finish it." And finally, he said, "All right, I'll get to it." So he started writing it, and he goes, "I just couldn't get anything. Nothing inspired him." And finally, he says to Glenn, or Glenn called him up again, actually, and he says, "When are you going to finish that song? Is it done yet?" He goes, "You just told me to
where
write
did you
it."
hear this?
From Jackson Browne on YouTube.
Oh.
And Jackson says, "All right, and he goes, 'Can I finish it?' He said, 'Yeah, just finish it.' So he finished it. So they two wrote that song
He was
together.
standing on the corner of Windslow, Arizona. He's never been to Windslow, Arizona.
Yep. Has Jackson Browne?
Yes.
Has he?
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
He did a concert there.
Really?
Yep.
I never heard of that. Mm-hmm. And now all that's there is a store and a statue.
And the statue looks like Jackson Browne. It doesn't look anything like... Because Billy and I, we rode the motorcycles up there, and right after Glenn Frey passed away, we rode up there to see the statue.
Okay.
The statue's about 5 foot tall. Doesn't look anything like...
Who put the statue there?
I don't know.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
that's about all there is in Windslow.
Yes.
Is there a gas station there?
Oh, yeah. It's a
Town?
pretty big town.
Does it have any stores? Mm-hmm. I know where the statue is, there's a store, or there's something there, a bar.
It's on a corner, a
four-way?
four-way corner.
Yeah.
And there's stores on each corner, but...
Yeah.
And the little statue standing there, and it's stupid looking. Billy and I, we looked at it, we go, "What is this?"
When my brother was in town, he said, "Hey, we could go to that standing on the corner in Windslow, Arizona." I go, No, we can't." And he said, "Why not?" I said, "Because that's all that's there is that statue. You're going to drive 100 miles to go see that? Now, if you're on your way there through to California or somewhere,
right.
Okay. But no, don't waste your time."
We have pictures.
Yeah, you can get on the internet and look at that. But yeah,
The
standing on the corner.
statue is real small.
I always liked the Eagles, their sound, that country rock sound. Their solos were great. Their chord progressions were wonderful, and their melodies were fantastic.
Yep. Glenn Frey lived right above Jackson Browne.
I did not
That's
know
how
that.
they got to know each other.
Where was that, in California? Mm-hmm. Jackson Browne dated Daryl Hannah, the actress, for a while. And then rumor had it he got a little bit rough with her, so she left.
Oh, I'll be darned.
Yeah, that's the rumor. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just saying. But yeah, I think the guys write good stuff. Jackson Browne writes some wonderful stuff, great melodies.
Matter of fact, on Fire Stick, they have the Eagles biography.
Oh yeah,
Have you watched that?
I've not seen. There's two out there, I think. I've seen one of them, and I think most of the way through.
The one I watched maybe half of it so far. That's
Where you're getting this info, huh?
yes,
Yeah, they're very good, and
they're awesome. I love the Eagles.
there was a lot of good stuff came out of the '70s. I mean, so many
by
good
all
songs.
means.
Even today, my son, who listens to everything, he said, "Dad, I like the '70s music the best." Mm-hmm. And I said, "Well, it was the best."
70 and early 80s.
Yeah, there's some good stuff. Yeah, I didn't so much like a lot of the stuff that came out of the '80s. There were a few things that were good. Every once in a while, someone will throw out a song, and I'll go, "Well, that's a good song," and they'll say, "Well, that's from the '80s."
Yeah, I like Huey Lewis.
Yeah, Huey Lewis was great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, liked Huey.
Van Halen. Well, Van Halen started in the 70s too, but
Yeah, a friend of mine met Huey. She was a really attractive young blonde. So he picked her out of the front row to bring her backstage, of course.
oh, of course.
And he tried to make the moves on her. And I
Well,
think
they
he was
say
married.
he's very.
God. Like I would care about that.
Well, no, that's what they say.
Oh, okay, well, it don't matter to me. That was a Bread song.
Yes.
Still
is.
David, yeah, after all these years. David Gates I always liked. I liked his voice. Although, after a few of those songs, they're kind of downers. And it's like, okay, I'm done with this for now. But every once in a while, I love to hear it. Mm-hmm. I like If. It's okay. It's an If. Not If'n.
Oh.
If a ship would launch 1,000 faces, and
Right.
you would sink all mine or something like that. But
You'd sink all mine.
but he had a couple of Goodbye Girl was a great song. That wasn't with Bread though. That was him solo. But he wrote some good stuff.
Yeah, I have Bread's Greatest Hits, the CD,
Yep.
and I can only listen to like 3 of those songs. The
Yeah.
rest of them
I know.
just not in.
They just take you down.
Right.
That's why I can't listen to If much. I every once in a while, okay. But it drones on. Yes, that it. And if you know the song, you know what he's saying. But that gets old fast. But I'm trying to learn one of his songs. I can't think of what
Did
it's
you know
called.
they all worked in a bakery?
Really?
I don't know.
You're-
That's why they're named Bread.
Jeez.
No, I think it was because of money. That's why they named themselves Bread.
They ain't got no bread.
I really don't know. If anybody knows, write in or something, or call or something. You have a phone number by
Or
any chance?
write your congressman. No, I don't have a phone number for that. I wish I did, but no. Well, anyway, I'll think of it. The song I'm working on by David Gates. It's really good. But I want to, I produce music. I like to write it and record it, and I just haven't done anything in a while. And I want to get my guitar back out and start doing some stuff. I would love to play out live. I miss doing that because it's
Play
fun.
Out Live. What's that song?
It's not a song. Do you remember the Way Outs? The Way Outs are coming. The Way Outs are coming. On the Flintstones?
No, I don't.
It was a group from outer space, but people didn't know they were from outer space.
So that's why they're way out.
Yes, they thought they were these groovy kids from this planet that dressed up like aliens, but they were really
That was
aliens.
on the Flintstones?
Spoiler alert, they were aliens. Yeah.
No kidding.
But yes, and let's see what other groups. Oh, Elvin Bishop.
Oh, I saw Yes in concert
Okay.
in Vegas.
Yes, you did.
And
Fooled Around and Fell in Love. Remember that one?
Uh-huh.
Elvin Bishop.
I like that song.
Great song.
Done that many a time.
Did he have any other hits? I can't remember
I
any.
don't remember either.
Yeah, that's about the only one I can remember. And what about Chevy Van? Remember that one?
I love that song
That's
too.
a great song.
Made love in my Chevy van.
And That's All Right With
That's
Me.
all right with me.
Who did that? Not Randy Van Warmer, was it?
I don't know.
I think it might
That's
have
like
been.
a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, I think that guy only had one
But
hit.
I heard that song probably a month ago.
Sammy Johns, that was his name.
Was it?
Yeah, pretty sure of that.
I heard that when I was little. I loved that song.
Yep,
That came out in '72 or one
Yep.
or something.
it was. Yeah, it still holds up if you ask me.
I think so.
Good song. Ambrosia, You're the Biggest Part of Me. I always like that.
That was in the latter '70s.
You're the Only Woman. That was another hit they had. I like the jazzy style. That's kind of when jazz fusion started.
See, I
coming out.
wish I could sing on this show, but
You
I
can. You
can't.
just can't sing anything that people would know.
Yeah,
You can sing the alphabet if you want, but then people would talk and they might cart you away with a truck and a butterfly net. Oftentimes, when I think about music and I'm relating it to Nick, my son, I'm thinking that I'm probably sounding like my grandfather sounded to me when he'd say, "Oh, the best songs are back in this day and
like my dad.
in the 40s, and you guys this rock and roll crap doesn't cut it." And my grandpa would say, "I don't understand that screaming Mimi stuff." He says, I like it when you could hear a melody like Sinatra, and you could follow it, and it's nice, and you can sing along. And I understand that
I
to a
understand
degree.
it also.
But I love the old stuff, too.
So do I. My mom and dad used to listen to it all the time, and that's how I learned how to sing and everything.
No kidding, yeah. Sinatra, although I like his voice, I would say he does not have the classic singer's voice. It's not a fancy voice, it's very plain, but he can sing a phrase like nobody I've ever heard. He sings it so smoothly and so perfectly. He hits the note perfectly, and he ends it right at the right moment, and then he comes in at the right moment. So as far as his technicality, he's the best singer I think I've ever heard.
Oh, Frankie.
Frankie. Remember the Warner Brothers cartoons?
You remember?
They'd draw that old chicken with a big long neck.
Yeah.
Oh, Frankie. And Frankie was a chicken, too. And the microphone would form a mouth and sing. But, yeah, that was some good stuff. But I like a lot of the 40s stuff, and I I hope it never goes away, because people today don't understand how good that music is. And those people were talented too. Just like that kid that was on one of those competition shows, singing competition, and he's 20 years old, and he sounds like Frank Sinatra. He's amazing.
Oh, poor kid.
Yeah, but he's good. And he didn't win, but he was, or at least I don't think he did. I can't remember.
I don't either.
But he's doing very well singing. He worked at a pizza shop in New York, and he's from New York. And just a good old down-to-earth
Was that
guy.
supposed to be a New York
That's
accent?
New York, yeah. That's New York.
Okay.
You want me to call my mother?
Go ahead. What are you going to call her?
Hey, Ma! Yeah. I hope we never lose that stuff, because it's great.
No, I agree.
I met Steve Lawrence and Eydie Gorme one time when I was a disc jockey, and they flew me out to Las Vegas.
Didn't we talk about this once before?
Probably, but I got to talk to him privately.
Somebody else called the guy a different name or something. He called him Eydie.
Oh,
Steve Lawrence
yes.
and Eydie. What did he call? What did the guy call Steve Lawrence?
It was Dean Martin, and Dean called every time he saw Steve by himself.
There you go.
He would call him Steve and Eydie, like his name was Stephen Eydie.
And the last name was Eydie. Right. Okay. That's what I'm thinking.
But they did have solo careers as well as their own, couple duet careers.
Yes, I remember that.
So they were Steve.
Didn't they have a show at one time?
They might have. I know Steve hosted the Tonight Show a lot when Johnny Carson was out, and he was on Carol Burnett quite a bit, and he would.
They both were.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. They might have had a show for a short time. I don't remember.
Yeah, Eydie has passed on, but Steve is great. I actually did an interview with him. I should play part of that. I'll have to find it.
Oh no, you shouldn't.
And play part of it, because it is kind of fun.
Is it?
Yeah, he was coming to town for a show, him and Eydie, and it was the first show they had done.
Steve and Eydie coming to town.
Oh, copyright violation.
Yeah, it is. Somebody's going to get us for 10 cents.
Geez Louise, 10 cents. Anyway, Steve was a great guy, and he was sharp. And what was really impressive about him is he remembered my name, and he hadn't seen me in 2 years.
Wow.
And, stars don't do that.
That's from singing, though, too. You have to remember all those lyrics. That was the hard part for me, is remembering everything.
Yeah. Well, during
the chords came in my sleep, basically.
Uh-huh.
The words, remembering the words to all the songs that you had to sing. And even now, it's even worse.
Yeah, I can imagine. I've never sung with playing guitar, so I never learned how to sing and play at the same time. And I'm not a good singer. You're a much better singer. My wife is a better singer than I am.
Wow.
She's actually pretty good, but she just won't sing. And I go, why? I don't have time for this.
No time?
Yeah. I said, it's
no
not time left for you.
No time. No time.
But Steve and Eydie on their tour practiced, and that's one of the reasons they flew all the disc jockeys out to see their show, so that we'd go back home and talk about it with our audiences. And so when I was there, we got to have dinner, and then we had a roundtable discussion after their show. And I think their show ended like at 11 o'clock.
I bet you guys were sitting at a square table, though.
We sure were.
I told you.
Even though it was a roundtable discussion.
There ain't no round tables anymore.
Not anymore, unless you're at a buffet. But
there ain't no.
That sounds like a song. There ain't no round tables anymore. Country song.
Hey, let's write one.
Yeah.
We'll sing it on the next show. Yeah. Everybody can't wait for that one.
I can't wait myself. Note the expression on my face. I just can't wait. But but they were really wonderful people, and Eydie was gracious and very nice, and Steve was brilliant and funny, and together they were quite a couple, and both of them were brilliant singers. I mean, many people don't know she's Hispanic, and her people came from Spain. I think her father and mother were Spanish.
Were they cooks?
I don't know.
Well, they made gourmets.
Yes, they did. Eydie Gorme, or Gorme. It wasn't spelled the same. It was Gorme with a hyphen.
Oh.
Gourmet. But she was a wonderful singer, great female singer, and he's one of the best male singers I've ever heard. Him and Frank Sinatra. I think they're both wonderful.
Well, did you know emus can't walk backwards?
I did not. I didn't know we were talking about emus, but okay. Garth likes to throw things in the middle of a conversation just
it
to
makes
be
things
different.
Interesting.
Because he thinks I'm not interesting, so sorry. I can't get my story out.
Like I said a few shows ago, we sit right across from each other from a table and we're looking at each other. I got to make you laugh a little bit.
You do. I'm finishing up my last bit of
Suds.
barley pop. Adult beverage. I rarely drink those, but it just sounded good today. It's so warm in here.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Oh, isn't Schmitty working on the air conditioning?
I don't know what he's doing, but it was working earlier.
Jennifer had it going.
Yeah, and now it seems hot
broke
again.
down.
Oh, man.
Jennifer fired all that stuff. Get her on the line and tell her to get Schmitty rolling there. He's not doing his job.
Is Smitty doing his job, Jen?
No.
Yeah, thank you.
What's he doing?
I know he's not.
Well, you know what? Let's call down to him and hit the button.
Hello?
Schmidt,
Yes?
are you working on the air conditioning, please?
I can't hear you. The air conditioner's not running.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I thought that you'd get a kick out of that.
Well,
I say the air conditioner's not running. I can't hear you.
I know, but why isn't it running?
I'm working on it. We're missing a defibrillator.
What's a defibrillator?
Defibrillator.
Or defibrillator?
That too. Well, what's wrong with it?
Not quite sure yet. But I'm working on it. I'll have it up and running here in just a bit. Gotta get the big wrench.
Garth has finally lost it, ladies and gentlemen. It's the barley pop. I think it's getting to him.
It is.
And the heat. Never drink in the heat.
It's hot in here.
I know.
Open up the vents.
I'm opening them now.
Oh, thanks. Finally.
You'll feel wind in just a minute.
Yeah.
And may the wind at your back always be your own.
Thank you.
Thanks, Smith.
Oh, it's fun.
And squirrels can't
nice.
burp either.
No, they can't.
Squirrels can't burp.
Nope.
That's kind of a non sequitur.
You know why?
Why?
Because they're nuts.
Well, that's why they use decon, because it blows them up like balloons.
And
then
rats.
Then they expire.
I can't believe you guys talk about rats and death.
Well, I mean, this is it. This is life, dude.
No, it's actually death.
Yeah, dude.
Dude.
Okay.
It sounds funny when he says it.
Dude sounds funny. Dude. Hello, dude.
Are you drinking, Smitty?
I think he is.
Something's not right here.
I think old Schmidt's down there in the boiler room fucking doing something.
Well, I'll get to work on this. I'll get back to you.
Yep, please do. Well, and hurry up. It's hot in here.
Okay.
All right, Smitty, thanks.
Smitty doesn't seem like he wants to talk to you. He wants to be left alone.
Well, he's busy trying to get that thing working. Oh, my goodness. What other songs were great in the 70s?
A lot of them.
Because we did talk a little bit about Harry Chapin.
Oh, the Cat in the
Cats
Cradle.
in the Cradle.
Yeah.
And
That
WOLD.
reminds me of my son.
Yeah. Oh, that's sad. Sorry. I didn't mean
Oh,
to bring it.
don't be sorry.
Be glad.
Yeah, matter of fact, I called my son up today. I go, Gene, it's not National Beer Day anymore.
But have one for me. Take a sip for old Dad. Dear old Dad. Dear old Dad. Oh, there's a cartoon. Do you remember Augie Doggie? Mm-hmm. Augie Doggie and Doggie Daddy.
And Gene Paul, my son, my son.
My son, my son. Who was he imitating? It was that Jimmy
I don't remember. Jimmy Durante.
Durante? Yeah, that's who it was. That's not a banana. That's my nose.
Yeah, that's what I used to say to my son when he was little. Gene Paul, my son, my son.
Dear old Dad.
He still remembers it.
Does
I
he?
still tell him that today.
Yeah, but now he looks at you funny.
No, he didn't, because he's been doing it all his life.
No, he
All of our
don't.
life. No, he don't.
You don't.
He do not.
Oh man, 70s cartoons. Top Cat, remember that? Mm-hmm. Top Cat, and there was and who was the dog in the elevator? Droopy. Droopy, what floor, sir?
That's right, huh?
Yeah. Ladies' lingerie, please.
That floor is not available.
I thought we were going to the other floor.
We're going to the basement.
My name's Trudy Compoman, or
Truman Capote.
Trudy Compoman.
I think he was Trudy Capone on the weekend. I'm just saying.
Oh, for Pete's sake, and Gladys too. Trudy
Truman
Capone.
Truman Capone, you did it again. You're cut off, sir.
I am.
You're cut off,
I've
sir.
had too many of these.
What floor, sir? What floor? He had these big jowls.
Give me the basement.
What floor, sir?
My son does a pretty decent Morgan Freeman for his age. He does it pretty well. He's got the mannerisms
The girl?
down. Morgan Freeman, not Morgan Fairchild.
Oh.
She's not a black man in her 70s.
Morgan Freeman. Okay. Got you.
She's a black man in her 70s. Morgan Fairchild, yeah. She still looks pretty good for her age.
Yeah,
Saw her on
70.
the internet. Yeah, and she's got to be close, if not.
Mm-hmm.
And I read Burt Reynolds' book.
He has a red book?
It's read now because I read it.
Oh, you read his book.
That's right.
Thought you meant he has a red book.
He tells some good stories.
I bet he does.
I always tell this story that Steve Lawrence told me about Frank Sinatra going into this restaurant. And we may have told this one too, but where a kid was serving the Sinatra crew, and he accidentally dropped some glasses and broke them. And the owner of the bar came over and just berated the kid something fierce and threatened to, throw him out in the street if he broke another glass. And he told him to apologize to Mr. Sinatra. And Sinatra said, "Hey, what are you getting so mean with a kid for? He just dropped a glass. It's not a big deal." And he says, "You know what? Tell you what, kid." He says, here's $100. And he says, "Give this to your boss, and I want you to break the entire tray of glasses. And then tell him to clean them up." And he says, "And if he doesn't, I ain't coming back here anymore."
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty fierce story.
Did he do it?
Yep. He
Oh,
did it.
darn.
Broke all the glasses, and the old man had to sweep them up. And he goes, "Don't ever berate that kid again." He says, "I want to see him here the next time I come back."
Well, that $100 back then was like $1,000 now.
Exactly. I don't know how expensive the glass was. It couldn't have been that much. But the point was he was going to pay for the glasses that were broken.
That's pretty neat.
But Steve Lawrence told me that story at the round table, and then later I read it in Burt Reynolds' book, and Burt was there with Frank when it happened.
Oh, my darn.
I did not know that.
And then I wrote.
And then I wrote, and then she told two friends, and they told two friends, and so on, and so on.
So on and so on.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish my nose would quit
Oh,
running.
really?
Yeah.
It's bad, in the wintertime when it freezes in your mustache. and you're outside.
Your snot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that fun? And you come in and it thaws and it starts to drip, and you're going, what happened?
You actually break your mustache hairs off.
You can. Mine don't sound like that.
We were going elk hunting. We get out down by the railroad tracks down there. And,
In a van down by the river?
yep. How'd you know?
Just guessing.
Were you there?
Oh, I read your biography, or your actually your diary. Sorry. Boy, the wind's really whipping out there now. You could probably hear that in the microphone.
You could hear it, and you could hear it coming down those pipes.
You wouldn't believe that it's April and not
March.
not winter time. April and not March. You're confusing me.
That's what I like to do.
Yeah, you're good at it.
Thank you.
Uh-oh, here goes another barley pop.
Shh, quiet.
I mean Diet Coke. Music. What other influences did you have? I saw Seals and Crofts.
Oh, I'll be darned.
I saw Ambrosia. I saw Steely Dan before, what's his name, passed away?
Walter
Becker?
Becker.
Yeah, that's a shame. He died too early. But man, their arrangements are amazing, Steely Dan.
Aren't
Such
they?
great tunes.
And it's all done with the keyboard. Just about all of their music's done like that.
Yeah, it's all studio. Some of that stuff's hard to do on the road.
Well, yeah.
But they do it. They find a way to do
They
it.
find a way to do it.
Yeah, I don't know if they're using partially recordings or what.
Amazing. Simply amazing.
Simply, I said. Simply, he said.
They said.
Remember those commercials? You can't fool Mother Nature and
With Palmolive? No.
old Madge.
Madge, yeah.
Madge says something about Palmolive.
Yeah, you can't fool
you're-
Mother Nature.
No. Madge was the Palmolive.
Palmolive.
She used
Okay,
something about detergent and you're washing dishes in it. Oh, I don't want to get dishpan hands. And then she goes, well, you're soaking in it now.
Right. And the lady pulls her fingers out of it. Oh,
Oh, don't worry, it's Palmolive.
and look at your cuticles.
It's just so gentle.
See how nice they are?
Right. And then you had, I can't believe it's not butter.
Oh, what's his name?
And then Parquet.
Butter.
Parquet.
Butter. Parquet. Butter.
Oh, no, now we're really going.
Or what was some of the other commercials about indigestion? What was that one? I can't believe I ate the whole thing.
Was that Alka-Seltzer?
Yes, I think it was. Yes.
Plop, plop, fizz, fizz.
Oh, what a relief it is.
Excuse me.
Pepto-Bismol. It's coating slow good. No, it's slow good. Who was that? It's slow good. Oh, it's Heinz ketchup. It's slow good. It's worth waiting for. Smitty sounded like he started the engine up for the air
I
conditioner.
think he did.
I heard it way down there.
There it
Ooh,
goes.
there it goes again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd hear the hum.
What he said, only louder. Okay,
What
better.
was-
You can't fool Mother Nature.
Yeah.
That was some sort of spread. Maybe it was You Can't Believe It's Not Butter commercial.
No, that was with the guy,
I know, but I don't know what it was.
whatever his name is.
Was it chiffon?
It's hard to fool Mother. You can't fool Mother.
And she'd get angry and make thunder noises.
I can't. Oh, well.
Oh, and then there was
See what happens when you get old?
I know.
You can't remember
we know what we're talking about, but nobody else does.
exactly.
And she wore that wreath in her hair, wreath of flowers and nice white robe, and that was Mother Nature.
Right.
And then, where's the beef?
That McDonald's.
Where's the beef? Clara Peller, that old lady.
That was McDonald's
Yeah.
30 years ago.
Yep, and she more than that. I think it was 40 years ago.
Really?
Yeah,
Is she dead now?
yeah, way dead. She's dirt now.
She's decomposed.
She's not feeling herself these days. Yeah, she was probably almost 90 when she did the commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Remember
pretty
Rodney
good.
Allen Whippy?
Oh yeah, Rodney Allen Rippey. What did he do?
That was
In-N-Out Burger or something?
no Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box.
Hey, Jack in the Box, the Big Mac, or the Big, not the Big Mac, the Jumbo Jack. I'm Rodney Allen Whippy.
He was a cute kid.
Yeah, okay.
And then there was, I thought he was.
I wonder what he's doing nowadays.
He's doing something. My wife was telling me about him the other day, and I can't think of what it was. I can't believe it's not butter.
Well, you better because you're eating it.
How about Mr. Clean? The bald-headed genie or whatever he was.
Have you ever seen him? Have you seen him now?
Yeah, he looks kind of weird,
He is weird, yeah.
but he's still there on the bowl.
I think
we'll edit that out of the show. He just always looked like a genie. He had an earring too, didn't he?
now he does.
I think they created that character back when Yul Brynner was in The King and I. And Yul Brynner wore the earring, and he was the king of Siam. And he looked a lot like Yul Brynner,
Yeah, he did.
but he had
Well,
real big bushy eyebrows
Right.
that were white.
Did I ever tell you about the story when I was younger? I was a kid. I was probably, 5, 6, maybe 7.
That's younger.
That was 50-something years ago. Anyways, you remember how blocking your hair in the back? Mm-hmm. Okay, you block your hair. It was all nice and straight and everything.
Right.
You had short hair.
And just cut it straight across.
Right. That's what they call blocking. So I had this bright idea when I was little. I'm going to block my own hair back there. Okay, so I got I think it was my dad's razor, and got a mirror and looking, because I have a sister and a mom, right?
Yeah.
So they used to look in the mirror, hold a mirror up to their face and look and turn around to the big mirror and look behind them and see how their hair looks behind them, right?
Of course, yeah.
So that's what I did, and I'm trying to block my hair, and I cut this big old chunk out of the back of my head.
So you were more than a blockhead. You were
Yeah.
some sort of trapezoidal head.
So anyways, what I did is I put a Band-Aid on it.
So nobody
Okay.
would see it. Huh?
I was in, 3rd grade, I think it was now that I remember. So how old are you when you're in 3rd grade? You're
You
not
got
very
me. I can't remember.
But anyways, my mom, she saw that. She goes, "Well, what's wrong with your neck, Garth?"
Cut myself shaving, Mom.
Yeah, exactly. I said, "Nothing. Why?" She goes, "Well, why do you have a Band-Aid?" I said, "Oh, I don't know." The same famous word. I don't know. So she goes, "Well, what are you doing?" So I was trying to block my hair. She said, "Oh, don't you ever do that again, otherwise I'll cut all your hair off and you'll look like Yul Brynner."
Did you know who Yul Brynner was?
Yes, I did, because I remember The King and I, the movie.
I'm the king of Siam. Oh, what a goose I am.
And I started bawling.
Because you did not want to look like
I
that.
didn't want to have a bald head, no.
Yeah.
So I never did that
I
again.
didn't want to either, but look what happened.
I know, you kind of look... Yeah, you do have a weird-looking head.
Thanks. Call me Eggy.
Egg?
I'm not quite bald, but I'm getting there.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not kidding. It's happening. It's happening in a neighborhood near you.
Oh, baldness.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch,
Oh, meanwhile, back at the ranch, how about Miller time?
when you got the time, we got the beer.
Yes, we do.
Miller beer.
Uh-huh.
King of beers. Weren't they the king of beers?
That's Budweiser.
Oh, sorry, Budweiser.
I think it's Budweiser. Yeah, when you got the time.
We got
Oh,
the
no.
Miller beer.
I think it is. No, you're right. I'm sorry. Never mind.
And who
Delete
else?
all that.
I can do that.
I don't know. I'm flumdounded.
Me too. I'm flummoxed.
Me three.
What great things that we used to have in the 70s that we don't anymore.
Good people.
Did you like the Tijuana Brass? Yeah, that's true. Good people.
Herb Alpert, yes.
Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Marijuana Brass. No, Tijuana Brass. Tijuana. The girl. Did you know Sergio Mendes in the Brazil 66?
The girl with the big boobs with the shaving cream all over her.
That was on the Tijuana album.
I kept trying to look down him.
You're so naughty.
No, I'm not.
A naughty boy.
I'm just a regular old boy.
Yeah, good old boy.
Thank you.
But yeah, that was a good album. Whipped Cream and Other Delights, I think is what it was called. Herb Alpert married the girl from that used to sing lead with Sergio Mendes in the Brazil 66. They had a bunch of hits. She's a wonderful singer, Lonnie. Can't think of her last name.
Lonnie Lactate?
No. She wasn't on the album cover.
Oh.
She sang in the group.
Oh.
That was just a model on the cover. Oh, my gosh. I just cannot trust you anymore. But we need to start writing some funny songs. I think it'd be fun to write some things about what's going on in the world today.
I think it would be too.
Except it's just hard to get the show together I mean, we can't even get a show done, let alone write songs. Did you like Orson Welles when he would be on? Remember the talk shows like Merv Griffin and
Okay, yes.
and that's where I learned who all these celebrities were. They would be on the show.
Didn't we all?
I would see Tallulah Bankhead. I mean, who knows who that is now?
Steve Allen,
Steve Allen, yeah.
Merv Griffin, and Johnny Carson.
Jack Parr. That was before Carson.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. I really don't remember that a whole lot.
It's scary when people, like I work with a bunch of young folks, and I'll say something about Johnny Carson in passing, and the people my age will laugh, and the rest of them will look stone-faced. Like, what are you talking about?
Who's that?
Who's Johnny Carson?
Yeah.
I said, you're kidding me. The guy was on TV for more than 30 years.
You like history? No.
No. You're doomed to repeat it, my friend. Mm-hmm. Better learn some history. But, I didn't know everybody from the 40s, but I made it my business to understand who a lot of them were.
Right.
I mean, if someone said Guy Lombardo, I know who that was. I didn't grow up listening to him.
Mitch Miller.
I mean, Elvis Presley. Well, they know Elvis
Well, Elvis, yeah.
for some reason. You've got to learn about history. And that's why I teach my son about it. He knew who Don Rickles was from the Carson shows that I would watch.
See, there you go.
I would watch those old TV shows
Right.
with Johnny Carson, and my son would watch him, and he just thought Rickles was hysterical. And I said, he's a smart aleck. He goes, I like him. He's
Yeah,
funny.
he is a smart aleck.
And he was on CPO Sharky then. But that was good stuff. Some of the classic Carson stuff I love. Because you got Johnny Carson sitting there. There was one with George Goebel. Remember George? Mm-hmm. And George was telling a story, and he kept going on, and Dean Martin was sitting on the couch, and Dean would reach over in the middle of the show because he was tired of hearing the story, and he would just flick his cigarette ashes into Goebel's coffee.
That.
And Goebel had a habit of saying, going to talk and going to take a sip of his coffee, and the audience was just roaring because
He didn't know he had
the ashes in there, or at least he pretended he
Right.
didn't know. But it was absolutely hysterical. One of the best funny things I've ever seen.
That was real true showbiz back then.
Yeah.
Not this crap they have out now. That was wonderful stuff back then.
Yeah, and Carol Burnett show.
Oh, yeah.
Classic funny stuff.
Exactly.
Tim Conway's a comedy genius.
And Harvey Korman. And
Yeah. My wife and I saw Tim and Harvey. One of the last
You
shows
saw
that
Tim
Harvey
and
did.
Harvey, what were they doing?
They were doing a stage show
Oh.
in Sun City, Arizona, for the old folks. We were there. We're probably one of the youngest people in the audience, but it was great. I took pictures of Tim and Harvey on stage.
Geez, that must have been 20 years ago.
No, it was probably 10 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. Or-
Harvey Korman was still alive then?
Yeah. It wasn't too awfully long ago that he died. Just a few years, 2 or 3
Really?
years. Yeah.
I thought it's been longer.
Yeah. They told some classic stuff. They did the dentist routine.
When he
if you-
shot the Novocaine in
Yes.
his leg.
Yeah. And if you have not seen that, you owe it to yourself to go out to
yes.
YouTube and look up Tim Conway, Harvey Korman, and the dentist. Mm-hmm. It is hysterical
That's
stuff.
Harvey couldn't hold it back anymore.
Yeah.
He started.
he was a laugher. He tried to keep a straight face as hard as he could, and he just couldn't.
See, that's how I would be.
Tim laughed. I mean, Tim never laughs. He keeps a stone face. He's just brilliant. Mm-hmm. He never cracks, but he's hysterical.
Oh, I've seen him a couple times though on the Caliber Net where he
laughed.
would get the
The elephant story, where he tells the elephant story with her and Lyle Waggoner on the couch. He said something about an elephant. And he's just ad-libbing it, and he's talking about an elephant, and they tied their trunks together.
There you go.
Yeah. Brilliant comedy. I took my camera there. They said the cameras were allowed, and when Harvey and Tim were on stage, I would snap their pictures. And every time Tim saw me, because I was in the front row, every time he saw me lift my camera up, he mugged for the camera. No matter what he was saying, he would stop, do a cheesy smile, wait till I took the picture, and then he would go back and tell the rest of the story.
Really?
Yeah. It was funny. I stopped taking the pictures so that he would continue. I think that was his point. Why are you taking pictures? But I got a lot of good pictures.
Oh, I'll be darned.
Yeah. I'll have to print some of those and
Yeah.
hang them up on the wall in here. 'Cause
I would.
Yeah, they're just funny.
You have everything else hanging up in here.
I got a little bit of everything. Houdini, I got Fred Flintstone, Batman, Spider-Man. I got the Pirates poster, Pirates of the Caribbean. What else is in
Is
here?
it Caribbean or Caribbean?
Yes, absolutely.
That too?
That too. Good stuff. Good memories.
I agree.
I love that old nostalgic shows. And thank God they're on tape where we can go back and watch them again. Because they were taped live before a studio audience. Kind of like here.
Yeah, just like here.
Anyway, we thank you for listening. We're glad that you've joined us again. And I know this show,
This one's a ad libber.
it's an ad libber. We didn't have a lot prepared for it, but it's okay because we reminisced. And it's fun to do that. We hope you enjoyed reminiscing down memory lane.
Well, I hope you just listened to the whole thing to hear this was an ad libber.
A blab liver?
No, an ad libber.
Okay, that too. I don't like liver, thanks.
I like it.
Not even with onions. My dad loves it, but I don't.
So do I.
Do you have a famous word or quip for us, Uncle Garth?
Well, I was
From your
trying to
words of
look.
wisdom?
I was trying to look here. And let me put my glasses on. Hold on.
You mean those are my glasses? You want to
yeah.
put my glasses on?
Let me put your glasses
Because you
on.
forgot yours. That's okay, though. I understand. We're running out of music.
Okay. You know what? You can't hum while holding your nose closed.
And with those thoughts, I leave you.
Try
I'm Chris,
Try it, folks. And I'm Garth. It doesn't work.
and we are...
The Bunker Boys.
I just held my nose.
Glad you didn't ask me to hold it.